Hello Internets, welcome back to the boss showcase for Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and this time around it's going to be probably the hardest super boss. I know that this is kind of early on in our little mini-series, but I would actually recommend Orion being one of the last super bosses that you ever fight. This is mainly due to the fact that he is extremely difficult, and he doesn't have anything in the way of worthwhile loot, so he's mainly just a sort of completionist thing than anything else. But part of what makes Orion so annoying, though, is just the fact that he's all about dodging all your attacks and doing insane amounts of damage in return. If you're not properly set up, then you're going to have a really rough time. He will destroy you within the first 15 seconds if you were to encounter him early on, but yeah, basically the thing is, though, he is the hardest boss in the game for so many different reasons. Like, if he dodges all your attacks, that means you won't be able to recharge your arts, and that just makes things even more difficult for you. The momentum is always against you, so in this scenario, the best way to reliably beat him is to fight overpowered with overpowered, and in this scenario, we're actually going to be playing the tank. It's better to play as a tank. There are a handful of blades, actually, that would make it easier, not just for tanking, but overall, the best blades that I would recommend that you guys max out before you even actually even attempt this, I'll put it up on the screen right now, is going to be Kasandra, because she has amazing tanking potential, and she's very good at holding aggro against Orion. Or Poppi Alpha. Poppi Alpha is considered the best tank in the entire game, and it's going to be next to impossible to die. Of course, Orion, he does have his annoying things where he can, like, stunlock you to death with his driver arts, but otherwise, though, there shouldn't be too much trouble as long as you can keep yourself alive and keep the aggro on yourself. Another honorable mention would be Ursula. Ursula, you don't tank with her. In fact, you will be staying out of the battle most of the time. So pretty much the thing about Ursula, for those guys that already know or have been watching in these videos, is that if you have an overclocking bangle, you can reliably keep switching her in. So even if your party members keep getting attacked and getting large amounts of damage done to them, as long as they don't, like, you know, get the air slash, which does like 12,000 damage, then they're going to still survive. In which case, you would just switch in Ursula, heal, and then you would kind of keep stalling, keep canceling until you can reliably build up as many orbs as you can. He doesn't have that much health in comparison to most of the super bosses we've been fighting so far. It's just that the whole process of building up orbs is extremely difficult with this boss. So I'm going to quickly show you the Kasandra setup that I'm using right now. Block rate up, and block rate up and ultimate shield. Obviously the 69% block rate is going to be very handy, not to mention that her passive ability to draw aggro passively will really help out. Like, you might find maybe at the beginning, especially if you have an ether cannon on your team, at the very beginning sometimes your party members will still steal the aggro from you, but it shouldn't take that long. Just continue spamming arts. Make sure that your item pouch has some, like, nice recharges. I'm currently using the chart-grilled Grumbird to give myself 0.4 each second. Very useful for also building up affinity. As well, the accessories we're going to be using is going to be Titanium Vest and Burst Symbol. The reason why we have Burst Symbol is because a chain attack is reliable, guaranteed damage. This is going to be extremely important for when we actually fight. I would recommend, actually, because since I am already recommending that you have Orion be the last boss you ever fight, or one of the last ones, I would heartily recommend having a very powerful attacker on your team for the sole purpose of bursting them down during the chain attack. People that come to mind would be, of course, Poppi QT Pie and Herald. Herald is amazing for these kind of things, especially her level 1 special. If you can give Herald a, like, affinity max attack, outdoor attack, and level 1 special Ox Core, then she should be able to chunk him for at least a good third of his health, assuming that she's at S rank. One other thing I want to add too is that, honestly, if you want to win, you need to have a Titanium Vest on everyone. This is mainly due to the fact that he does stupid amounts of damage, and he can also stun lock you for a good amount of time, so it does help to have as much HP as possible. Obviously, we also have optical headbands and some nice, like, quality of life things for them. For those guys that don't know, the press release, not the press release, the developer's notes actually show that we're going to get additional accessory slots in New Game Plus, so that's exciting. But yeah, currently, since we only have 2, these are the main things we would go for. And honestly, I just want to just make sure that our chain attacks will be as impactful as possible. Obviously, for those of you guys that are starting out, you might not have enough trust levels packed into your blades, so you might not be doing as much damage. That being said, though, this should still be enough. Again, Orion doesn't have that much HP, so you might as well just make it a point to do that. So that's kind of what the setup is. The party... the reason why I'm showing you guys the party setup right now, I should have been doing it early in other videos, but the reason why I'm doing it right now is because the actual fight against Orion actually doesn't last that long, so we're going to be spending most of the time explaining. So we're just going to try to get one of every element. I have 2 ice types, but that's because we'd like to have as many healers as possible. We're probably not going to get as many healers going on here. You can feel free to get Rex being the player controls, but I'm currently just going to use Morag with Kasandra, mainly just because I want to show you what tanking looks like when you're fighting a super boss, because again, like I said earlier in other videos, that playing as the tank really does help control the flow of the battle. Obviously, playing as Rex would mean being a healer, but I also recognize that not everyone has Ursula, so Herald and Kasandra are like guaranteed blades, or sorry, not guaranteed blades, but they are blades that are found in quests, so I'd recommend doing those ones before even thinking of fighting against Orion. But yeah, basically, like if you have Ursula though, then you've basically won against Orion. But if not, then you're going to have to start building up your Poppi Alpha or your Kasandra, and that's kind of what the setup's going to be. Though we're just putting everyone in for the sole purpose of making orbs, particularly dark orbs, earth orbs, and potentially an ice orb if we can get away with it. So yeah, I think that should basically do it. We're gonna go ahead and skip to the actual boss fight. So I'll see you guys there. So yeah, like I said many times before, I despise this boss. He is the hardest boss in the entire game. Like, even now, like, I still find him very challenging due to the fact that he can avoid most of my attacks. Like, the way that this game works is that you need to land attacks in order to have anything done to you. Not to mention, he can also knock you off, so that's fun. For those of you guys that have seen my Newt video, that actually happens, where he just knocks me off, and that ruined the entire fight. But if you can reliably tank, that's the thing. As long as you can tank him reliably, then you shouldn't have that much trouble. That being said, though, again, it helps to have a good kind of tank. Currently, since we do have the 69% chance to completely mitigate all damage immediately, we should be fine. So one of the issues is that if Zeke had an electric type, we actually could do a Heavenly Bolt, but since that's not the case, we're just going to go ahead and build the first 2 stages of this combo, and then Zeke will finish off with his Dark Element and his Earth Element in the form of Florin, so that's going to be fun. Okay, so here we go, start canceling everything as usual. He also has an annoying tendency to give or inflict break on you. One other thing too, for Kasandra, I recommend never ever using your level 1 special in a fight like this, because it takes a really long time to complete it. So if you're going to build the first 2 stages, just have 2 level 2 combos. Okay, so Air Slash is really annoying. One of the other annoying things about having Morag, like, she works really well with Kasandra, but the problem that I have is the fact that she lacks an art that puts you in a shield mode. So that means that there will be a very good chance that the Air Slash will still hit you, and when he goes into the enraged state, his Air Slashes will actually one-shot you. It's very painful stuff. But since we have Kasandra, there's also a chance that she can crit, and if she crits, then that's going to be a heal. That never happened though. Her crit chance is really low. I love how they added it though, to really give her sort of the bad luck thing. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and build myself the second stage. I like having the level 3 combo, because when you have full affinity, it's a lot easier to get this, but having a level 3 combo does make things a little bit easier, because you still have that chance of healing, but if not, then that's okay. I do have a bunch of healers on my team, but unfortunately, there will be times where they won't, the AI won't care. So yeah, just keep a close eye on your meters, making sure you don't run out of that gravity. True Hazy, I'm gonna hate this. I'm super salty just thinking about doing this fight. Like, we had to do this one. This is a very important video to make, but man, I hate this guy. The thing is that we are playing as Kasandra, so it's actually very easy to hold on to the aggro. Okay, so here comes Best Boy. And this should be a heal for everyone, I think? No, this is a bunch of potions. If it was a full heal, that would have been nice, but that's for Dahlia. Okay, so this is going to be the really funny part. I'm going to have to have an... yeah. Okay, good, we got the damage immunity. There's a bit of RNG for this one. Honestly, Poppi Alpha would actually be a little bit more reliable, but we're gonna give Poppi a break because she has been appearing a lot on this channel, and at the risk of spoiling surprise, the next Blade Showcase is also going to be related to Poppi in some capacity. Okay, so he has a true Baird counter. This is really, really annoying to deal with, but because you're the player, you like, as long as you're not mindlessly spamming attacks, it should be okay. But basically when that happens, that's basically your chance to switch blades. I would like to get up and dodge this attack, please. Ah, that would have been amazing if I got up in time to do the evasion. Okay, so this is going to be a bit rough, because I was planning on playing as a... I was planning on playing with Zenobia. Here we go. Okay, so here we go. So yeah, that's what. Okay, so that's one of the annoying things about this boss, though, is the fact that if you can dodge your attacks, that means you can't do crits, and if you can't do crits, you can't do the crit recharge. So this actually does counter the popular crit builds of this game, just to let you guys know. Okay, so basically we're gonna try to stay on. We're going to try to stay as Kasandra for the duration of this fight, just because it's getting really dangerous at this point. Honestly, again, like I said earlier, he has really, really low HP in comparison to all the other super bosses we've been fighting, so we actually are going to be able to chunk him down, but I don't want to do that, though. I would rather just build up the full meter if I can, and then go straight for the chain attacks. Okay, it's gonna wait a little bit longer until it's low, then we can get the volcano. Okay, so this... I hate this attack so much. It's also the kind of attack that can knock you off over there. Okay, we already have an earth element, so... Really, we're only just doing the specials now so we can build up meter. One other thing you can also consider doing is having food items on your other party members, or Omega Drives. However, Omega Drives, I believe, drop from this boss, so that might not be as viable. So, worst case scenario, just go straight for, like, just start fishing for your level 4 combos, and then you can build up as much meters as you can. So here we go, here's an air slash coming in. Oh, awesome, I love that dodge. Okay, so we're gonna try to build up the meter, and then once that happens, then we've basically won. It's just a matter of just cheating this guy, really. Like, this is one of the few bosses where it's actually required to have a very, very powerful build. Otherwise, you're gonna have a lot of trouble. Okay, so do you know what? Oh, we got the Heaven's Bolt, nice. Okay, and we got that. Perfect. So one of the other nice things about having a crit Mithra, and why you should have her as soon as possible, is just so that you can reliably have the meter build up, or the special build up, on the AI, even on the AI, because one of the annoying things about this game is that the AI sometimes doesn't know what to do. Okay, so we have a bit of a choice here, but since not, we're just gonna go ahead and let Kasandra do some work. And hopefully she hits something good. Let's find out. Okay, so that's gonna be Earth Element, so we'll do that. Okay, so just make sure you can get the one break. Like, even if you don't do too much damage, you can still reliably make sure that you will have continuous damage. Let's go ahead and we'll have Kasandra do the entire thing. Even though she doesn't do very much damage, it kind of just gives you guys an idea that are watching right now, if you're not as powerful as the setups that I have, it should still be okay. I love Kasandra. Goodness. Help me. Man, like, she's at like S5, I believe. Yeah, S5 ranking for Trust. It's pretty awesome. And I think she'll do the final blow as well. Cool. Oh, please tell me this is the full burst. I would love it as the full burst. Oh, if only. It's because we didn't do enough super effectives. Basically, for those of you guys that don't know, the amount of... what's it called? The amount of super effective hits actually does affect the burst meter in the top left corner. And that's kind of the thing that you'll have to be looking for when you guys do it, so keep that in mind if you feel like you're pressed for damage. If you can do that and you get the full burst, then that should be a guaranteed win on him if he's at like half HP at most setups or at most levels. So yeah, let's have the best boy make a little appearance. But that's basically Gladiator Orion though. Like, there's a lot of stuff you have to think about, but really the best way to beat him is just create a build that trivializes it, which actually isn't that hard. Like I said, Kasandra, you can get her from a side quest, and Poppi Alpha comes with the main story anyway. So that would be the thing that you guys would have to actually do. And like I said though, Gladiator Orion should be the last boss you think of doing. Think of him as like the ultimate ends. Like there are plenty of bosses out there that are higher level than him. I mean, ironically, he's the lowest level out of all the super bosses, but he's the hardest. And honestly, like I said earlier, fight OP with OP. So yeah, guys, thanks very, very much for watching the Gladiator Orion fight. Lots of stuff you have to look out for. Honestly, Hazy Moon, like, part of the reason why I didn't go super in-depth into his movesets is because you should just build a build that makes you not care about the stuff that he does, because honestly, if you're not prepared for it, it will destroy you. So, yeah, the less you guys know, the better, I think. Anyways, guys, thanks very, very much for joining me, and I'll see you at the Blade Showcase.